live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Stellantis and the United Auto Workers Union reach a tentative deal. Tonight, the impact on the Belvidere plant, the next step for workers, and the reason some are celebrating for the first time in months.
Plus, Roscoe police provide an update about the child hurt in last week's shooting. The man investigators say is responsible faces charges.
And the Illinois State Board of Education releases its report card for school districts. We'll hear the new goals in mind for RPS following the announcement. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Belvidere's Stellantis assembly plant could reopen. That's part of a tentative deal between the United Auto Workers and the company.
We'll hear from our local union president live in just a moment. But first, let's break down what this means. The deal includes general pay raises and cost of living adjustments. The wage increase adds up to more than 30% over the nearly 5-year contract. For Belvidere, it also means more than 1,300 workers will be put back to work. Under the deal, the facility will build a mid-sized truck. Stellantis also made a commitment to build a new battery factory in Belvidere. That will create 1,000 more jobs. No word on when workers will be back on the line, but until then, every worker who lost their job will be put back on temporary layoff benefits. That gives those workers sub-pay and health benefits.
Once again, we've achieved what just weeks ago we were told was impossible. The power of the stand-up strike cannot be understated. Over the 44 days we were on strike, Stellantis more than doubled the total value of the proposals they had on the table.
The proposal still needs to be approved by UAW's National Council. A ratification vote will then be held by union members. For months, UAW Local 1268 has been waiting to hear future plans for the Belvidere assembly plant. And now a clear picture looks to be forming.
Jess Lipson is live from 1268 headquarters with the reaction from Belvidere's union president. Jess.
Eric, Mimi, many were excited and relieved to hear about the news with the Belvidere assembly plant. One of those people is joined with me now, Local 1268 President Matt Franson. So when you heard this news, what was kind of your first reaction?
Completely and totally excited. I couldn't wait to get out there and talk to the membership and let them know what we had just found out.
Yeah, and so now we have some benefits, raise in wage. Can you kind of explain what's coming for the employees?
Yeah, so right now the tentative agreement, it speaks to 25% raises, 11% up front, 3% through, I think, 3 years, and then 5% at the end. Excellent raises, record contract. It worked out great. The raises to me are secondary than what happened in Belvidere as far as getting product there and getting the people back to work and back home. The raises, like I said, are secondary.
Mm-hmm. And you have an EV product possibly coming in, or an electric product coming in that could boost jobs or bring in jobs. Is that true?
Yeah, they're talking about possibly bringing in a small truck. It could be a smaller version of the Ram or the Jeep, and it could be combustible, hybrid, EV. So it's definitely going to be a boon to the area as far as manpower, rehire or hiring people. It's going to be perfect for us. Mm-hmm. So.
And you mentioned that this is great for a lot of people in the union, but comes with some negatives. Can you kind of talk to me about that?
Well, they've identified Belvidere as a vehicle plant, battery plant, stamping plant, and a PDC. With it being a PDC, that means some consolidation amongst other PDCs, which means closures and some members having to move. If they've got to move, they're in the same boat we've been in for the last 8 months, really since 2019 with the loss of C Crew. So we don't want to see that on anybody. So that is part of the bad part of the contract, the tentative agreement. We knew going into it that it wasn't going to be all good. There were going to be some things given up that the company wanted, and that is huge as far as those members go.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much. Later tonight at 9 and 10, I will have the full story for you. But for now, reporting in Belvidere for your home team, I'm Jess Lipson. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Jess, for that live report. The gum factory on Forest Hills Road now has a new owner. Perfetti Van Melle has officially announced the closure of its acquisition for Mondelez International's gum business. That means Perfetti now owns brands like Trident, Dentyne, and Bubblicious. The deal's reported to have cost more than $1.3 billion.
The child hurt in Roscoe last week after an in-home shooting is out of the hospital. We told you Thursday, Roscoe PD rushed to the Bitterroot Road home. Investigators say Richard Heimer was handling a gun. It accidentally went off. A bullet hit the child in the leg. Heimer is charged with reckless discharge of a firearm and endangering the life or health of a child. A Rockford man is in custody after police say he crashed into a roundabout. Friday around 12:30 in the morning, RPD responded to a single vehicle crash at Veterans Memorial Circle on North Main in Auburn. Witnesses told police the driver took off. Investigators identified Anthony Harris as that driver. When they found him, he was shot in the leg. According to police, Harris shot himself. He was treated, released, and taken to the Winnebago County Jail. Harris is charged with aggravated unlawful use of a weapon by a felon, and aggravated driving under the influence.
Halloween this year may look more like a winter wonderland.
Let's check back in with Candace to look at the potential for snow tomorrow. Candace, this is no trick.
Yeah, no, it is not a treat either when you think about it, especially when this could be one of the coldest Halloweens that we've had on record. Of course, the coldest back in 2019 when the temperature was only 33 degrees and we had a whopping 3.1 inches of snowfall that year. For us, this snow could come in two rounds, first in the morning and then again into the afternoon, each one having an impact on that time frame. So some minor accumulations possible tomorrow morning. This would be just a little before sunrise, mostly on elevated and grassy surfaces. But if we see it come down at a fast enough clip, and we're only looking at about an hour to an hour and a half window for those snow showers to come down, there may be some slush on some of the colder surface road temperatures. Next round would be during the afternoon. This one would have more of an impact to the visibility and lasting through about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. By the time we're getting out there after 4 or 5, most of the snow will be wrapping up, but it will be cold. All of this tied into this fast-moving clipper system, and you can see those snow showers already working down the plains in the upper Midwest. So let's time this out here. Cloud cover increases late tonight. This will be after midnight. About 4 or 5 o'clock, we'll see that first band of some light snow begin to move in. We actually get a little break following that, followed by a second round of snowfall. This one is where we could see that visibility drop through the lunchtime hour as temperatures stay in the 30s and winds pick up from the northwest at about 35 miles per hour. We'll look at wind chill factors for tomorrow and a little bit of a warm up too coming up here in the full forecast a little later.
All right, thanks Candace. We will see you in a little bit.
The Illinois State Board of Education has published the results from the state's report card.
Rockford Public Schools took the day to discuss the data and focus on the district's universal goals. Drea Baroni was at that meeting. Drea, what did you learn?
Yeah, Eric and Mimi, this report card gives a glance at student and school performances throughout the state. Rockford Public Schools Superintendent Aaron Jarrett was pleased with the improvements he saw in this year's report and says there are a few areas they want to focus on as they monitor the progress made.
We're really focusing on key metrics like graduation rate, freshmen on track, third grade literacy are 3 big areas we're focusing, and excited to see that we've both gained on the state average in those areas and are making progress towards our improvement targets that we've set with the Board of Education. So all in all, it was a good year and nice to see some improvement and some recovery from the students.
While the board is happy with this year's report, a report that shows a slight increase in graduation rates, Jarrett emphasized that there is still a great deal of work to do to help students reach their full potential. Mimi.
All right, thanks, Drea. Donald Trump faces more legal challenges on the campaign trail.
Coming up, a new case out west could prevent the former president from appearing on the ballot.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
An effort to kick former President Donald Trump off the ballot is in court in Colorado today, and a similar case in Minnesota is expected to take place later this week.
Plaintiffs argue under the Constitution's insurrection clause, Trump should be barred from running for the presidency again. Washington, D.C. correspondent Hannah Brandt tells us the former president's lawyers call the cases election interference.
In a Colorado courtroom, a legal team lobbed serious accusations at former President Trump.
Trump engaged in insurrection and therefore cannot appear on the ballot.
Their lawsuit argues Trump should be barred from becoming president under the Constitution's insurrection clause, pointing to his alleged attempt to overturn the 2020 election and incite the January 6th Capitol riot.
This is not a crazy legal theory.
Law professor Paul Schiff-Berman isn't involved in the lawsuit, but says the 14th Amendment is straightforward and prohibits those who engage in insurrection from holding higher office.
Somebody who foments an actual insurrection to block the democratic transition of power should not be able to then run the government that he previously tried to overthrow.
But the lawyers defending the former president say he did not engage in insurrection and call this election interference.
It's the people who get to decide. And this lawsuit seeks to cancel that principle. This lawsuit is anti-democratic.
There's a similar lawsuit set to go in front of the Minnesota Supreme Court on Thursday. And both of these efforts, if successful,
would set an extraordinary precedent and might open up new litigation in future political races.
No matter what the rulings are, there are likely to be appeals, and these cases could go all the way to the Supreme Court. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
You're going to want to make sure your little ones are bundled up nice and warm for trick-or-treating.
Up next, Candace breaks down the numbers and the timing on when we might see some flurries fly.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, lots of sunshine out there this afternoon, but it did not do much to warm our temperatures. In fact, those numbers have stayed in the upper 30s, low 40s, well below the average high of 55, 56 degrees. Our number right now at 37 in Freeport, 38 in Rockford, 37 in Belvidere, DeKalb, and 38 degrees currently in Rochelle. We'll maintain that mostly clear sky here as we go through the rest of this evening. So as the sun sets, our temperatures will drop, but cloud cover is expected to increase late tonight. This will be after midnight. This is ahead of our next clipper system. You can kind of pick out that counterclockwise spin just to the north and east of Bismarck, south of Winnipeg. That low pressure system works through here over the next 12 hours, impacting us by tomorrow morning. As I mentioned, this comes in two rounds. First early tomorrow, second one coming in late morning and then through the afternoon. So let's time this out because there could very well be some minor impacts to that morning commute, especially if you're up early enough. I think after 8 or 9 o'clock, really limited on the impact until we see that second round of snow move in. So cloud cover comes in here late tonight. We start to see a couple of flurries fly to the west and northwest by around 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. We get kind of this band of precipitation, lighter snow to work in here through about 5, 6 o'clock. That'll move out. 9 o'clock, we've got some cloud cover. May still be a lingering flurry or two. As the main low pressure system moves in around noon, that's when we start to see more of these scattered snow showers come in. And it's possible that with this second round, there could be some bursts of heavier snow for a brief period of time, which would drop the visibility with each band of snow that spirals in around that low pressure system. So with each band that comes in, visibility could drop. There's that second impact there on the roadways going into the afternoon. Most of this is wrapping up by about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow. Then our skies will clear out. So early part of trick-or-treating, 3, 4 o'clock, you probably have got some snow showers to contend with. After that, they'll be done, but you still have the wind. Winds will be a big factor, which will push the wind chill numbers down into the low to mid 20s. We'll clear out a little bit Tuesday night. We'll see cloud cover come back in on Wednesday. I think this leaves our skies mostly cloudy, but we should be dry during that time. And notice the shift in our wind direction from the southwest, which will bring us into the 40s. Now let's talk some snow accumulations. About a ½ an inch. I think most of this is under an inch and mostly on grassy and elevated surfaces. However, if some of those heavier bursts of snow come down, especially in the morning when temperatures are below freezing, that's when we could see some minor accumulations on colder road surfaces. So that's where the impact for maybe some slush on some roads. It would be before temperatures warm above freezing. By the afternoon, we're in the upper 30s, so you still got some impacts there as far as the visibility is concerned. Now with the wind, it'll first come in from the southwest, shifting to the west and then northwest, at times gusting 35 miles per hour. So it'll be a cold and windy day and some wind-driven snow showers going into the afternoon. Trick-or-treating time, bundle up. You've got temperatures that are in the 30s, wind chills that'll stay in the 20s during that time, low 20s by about 6, 7, 8 o'clock. After that, guys, we start to see a warm-up. 41 on Wednesday, 49 on Thursday. We're back into the 50s here by the time we get into the weekend with some showers there Saturday and Sunday.
It's so funny. We're looking for the warmth of the 50s in a few days. Candace, thanks.
Scott's in next with sports. Tyson Bagent drew praise last week after his first start for the Bears. We'll learn what Matt Eberflus is saying about Bagent's second start.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
The Bears quarterback pendulum keeps swinging from Justin Fields to Tyson Bagent, now maybe back to Fields. The buzz around Bagent died down almost completely last night when he had a less than inspiring performance against the Chargers. He threw 2 interceptions and no touchdown passes, and the Bears managed only 13 points. Bagent will get another shot to show what he can do this Sunday. Matt Eberflus has already proclaimed Bagent the starter against the Saints. Eberflus says Fields is still week to week. Here's Eberflus's evaluation of Bagent through the 2 starts.
There's some solid points in the game yesterday. Obviously the first game, it was good, and what was different was the takeaways, right? So we got to do a good job of protecting the ball, right, and being on the positive side or the even side of that battle. I still think he delivered the ball well. I thought he did, took some shots down the field, which we didn't see in the first game, which was exciting to see. And we're going to continue to stretch the field vertically and horizontally.
If you're a Bears fan, there's not much on this team to hang your hat on for the future. I would say DJ Moore, but he gets ignored half the time. Maybe rookie right tackle Darnell Wright. But other than that, who are the building blocks on this roster? Because I'm not seeing any. I'd say the Bears' only real hope lies with next April's draft and 2 very high first-round draft picks. Yes, Kirk Cousins is definitely done for the season. The Vikings have confirmed that an MRI showed this morning Cousins has a ruptured Achilles. He might have played his last game for the Vikings. He's due to become a free agent after this season. We'll get a look at another NFC North team tonight on Monday Night Football. The Lions will host the Raiders, and you can see that game here on WTVO. The second round of the high school football playoffs are set. Everyone will be playing Saturday afternoon this weekend. At 2 o'clock, Hononegah will host Willowbrook. At 1, Belvidere North will host Wakanda. At 12:30, Sycamore will play at Morgan Park. And at 2, Boylan will host IC Catholic. At 1 o'clock, Byron will play at Peatone. Also at 1, DuPec will take on Stillman Valley. So we're getting another NUIC Big Northern battle this week. And at 2 o'clock, it's the big Forest and Leewin game in Lena. And there will be a pair of 8-man playoff games, both at 1 o'clock. Polo at Milledgeville and Flanagan Cornell at Amboy. At sports, we'll be right back.
Our first morning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Quiet now, but it will be showing a little more blue there tomorrow morning and afternoon as we've got 2 rounds of some lighter snow moving in. Winds whipping around 237 tomorrow, warming by the end of the week.
All right, thanks, Candace.
Stay safe.